Good evening. We are live, everybody. Um, Happy Eve of St. Patrick's Day. I guess to start. Sorry about that, but yes, hello, everybody. Good evening. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. It's Friday, and yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, the feast of the best saint ever. My middle namesake. If outside of Ireland your bishop has dispensed, you do not eat meat on Fridays. That's not true. In the Diocese of Cleveland, there has been a dispensation. So you can eat meat on Fridays in Cleveland. They have not done it for Indians opening day, but oh well. And also because I don't have court tomorrow, I finally get to drink it. So happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Sean sold out the commercials. Yeah, I wish. So let's see who got first. Here. Oh, bye, Franz. Congratulations. You got first. Ed 209. Ed 209, you hold a place in my heart. RoboCop's one of my favorite movie series. And that's the interesting thing about RoboCop. Because a lot of people think they've seen RoboCop 2. Because there's 1, 2, and 3. A lot of people think they've seen RoboCop 2, but in reality, they've only seen RoboCop 3. They confuse them. Because RoboCop 3's got the Japanese guys and he's got the jetpack. But RoboCop 2, that is a not commonly seen video. It's an opera. It's the triumph and tragedy of Detroit and what happens from there and what happens to RoboCop. It really is a sad, sad story. I'm kidding. It's just fucking awful. That's why nobody's seen it. Let's see here. Remember remote. Oh, Richard Gruber. Remember today's the 39th anniversary of Gary Plauché administering the cure of pedophilia in an airport. Yes. Godspeed, Gary. You did what you had to do. Too bad your jury didn't know about jury nullification because you should have walked, brother. Is tomorrow whacking day already? Yes. And I guess I'll do a toast. St. Patrick, may you drive the snakes out of Washington, D.C. All of them. Completely and forever. Chris Knobloch says, I need legal advice. Which is superior, Coke or Pepsi? Coke. Coke is better than Pepsi. But ironically, Diet Pepsi tastes better than Diet Coke. So you can cover you both ways there. The Green River is better than both. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is Sean time. So hello, everybody. Corned beef, but do you have a sweets table? No. I'll be having some corned beef tomorrow, though. Yowza, you seem like to have a coof. Turkey in it. No, it wasn't too bad. I just drank a little something wrong, so that kind of caught me up. Jim, how are you doing? Labatt Blue, yes, the best of the Labatt. Yes, light's not bad, but blue is the. This is on sale at the grocery store, so it's been a while since I've had some. You got to make that beer. Parallax saying I got to make that beer green. I don't know because then it's nasty, and then I don't know. That looks weird when you go to the bathroom and stuff. So I'll pass on that. Spike Meadow says when there's no law, Sean gets claws. Yeah, I thought about it. I didn't have time today to get claws, so I already had this sitting in the fridge. So we went this route. Yes, Wrestler Town, you're right. RoboCop 2 as the kid villain. Parallax saying, I'm a big fan of the RoboCop remake. Oh, no, that was fucking awful. That was awful. They did Joe Kinnaman dirty in that. No, that was a horrible, 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 horrible movie. Patty Leather saying there's 3 RoboCops. Yes, there are. And the first one though is the best. The first one is just mwah. Especially when RoboCop has to fight Eric Foreman's dad. Clarence Boddicker and all the splatterpunks. He gets to kill them all with a Barrett. It's just so cool. And then the guy gets covered in all the toxic sludge. That part's really neat too. Metal Matt says, I'm late because I'm at work, but I'm here. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Nobody's ever late. Darby O'Hara is saying, how do you bring up jury nullification in a trial? You can't. But this is back in the 80s, like in the early 80s. People hadn't really ever heard of those terms or thought about it. And this is where the jury, this is where I think juries should have fully informed juror acts, meaning they can vote however they wish, being that they are jurors and they have the right to do so. Even if the state has proven a case beyond a reasonable doubt, they cannot be compelled or even ordered or forced to convict someone. Because it's one thing to say, did this person commit a crime? But by the jury also convicting that person, they are now saying, we think he should be prosecuted and punished. And we think the state should enforce that law. So no, I think the jury has that right to say, no, we're not doing that today. Very much like a Tombstone where Kurt Russell looks at the sheriff and says, I don't think I'm going to let you arrest me today. I think the jury has the right to say, we're not going to let you imprison this guy today. Sure, he may have done something wrong, but we're not going to let you do anything about it. And that's what I think really, there's 2 parts of jury nullification. Did this guy do it? Okay. But we don't think he should be punished for it. Patty Leather saying he, I'm assuming Gary Plauché, basically got off. Yes, but he still got convicted of manslaughter, and he shouldn't have been convicted. I mean, I think certainly he had a hell of an agitation in the heat of the moment defense of, like temporary insanity or something, but he still shouldn't have been convicted, I don't think. Charles Watts the triumph of Detroit. I don't think you're old enough to remember a time when Detroit triumphed. Yeah, you're fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. And over in Rumbleland, we up there, Winter Soldier is saying, smash that plussy. Yep. Just grab it. Seize the means of plusduction out there. And upon the horizon says, hello. Well, hey, how are you doing? Dr. Pepper. Oh, Dr. Pepper tastes awful. Dr. Pepper tastes awful. Alpha Snark is saying, well, if St. Patrick gets the snakes away, then DC will be empty. I know, it's such a shame to think about that idea. Penny says commies drink Pepsi. Oh. RC in a bottle is Garrett saying RC in a bottle. I'm too fat to be like, I don't drink Coke or RC really. But yes, RC is very, very good. In a bottle, oh wow, it's good. And it, I will say, as far as Coke is concerned, if you get non-American Coca-Cola, that's better because most places in the world don't use corn syrup; they use sugar, cane sugar. So Mexican Coke, or I've had friends who, when they got deployed, they said, Haji Coke is Coke in Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever they were at was 100 times better than the Coke here. So. Clown World saying, was Corn Pop really a bad dude? Not sure. Anton Hemingway saying, how's it going today? Oh, it's going great. Going great. Holy cow, we're almost at 10 minutes. Normally I do 5, but I guess we'll just one more minute. Guys, if you weren't here on Tuesday, I had the opportunity to sit with Steve Gosney. He came on and we talked for a little bit, actually quite a while. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you were here, if you haven't had a chance to watch it, it's up. You go back and look at it. I thought it was really good. Just tried to talk about some different things in there, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time, and I couldn't believe that it was already 2.5 hours long by the time we got done. So If you guys were here, I appreciate you guys joining in. I appreciate your comments and questions. And oh crap, I did not get the locals chat up. Uh-oh. At potentiallycriminal.locals.com. Uh-oh, they're gonna be. Oh, talk about Moose Antler guy. Yes, I forgot to include him, but yes, that will be something we're going to address. That one's pretty cool. All right, publication settings, enabling live chat. There we go. I forgot that I don't know if I mentioned this before. I guess I'll keep plugging it. Guys, every Monday on Locals about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I've been doing a show. So if you guys are interested in that, it's always there. We talk about a lot of different things, just so you guys are aware of it. Let's see here. Green beer ends after 30. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've had like really green beer. Robert Lawrence saying RoboCop director's cut is the best. I haven't seen that, but I have a copy of Das Boot in the director's cut, and that's certainly 100 times better. Chris Knobloch says, Labatt, are you a Bills Mafia? Oh God. I don't know if they're on par with Pittsburgh fans. The Bills Mafia is just oof. Bills Mafia is just cringe. Can't work with them. The only thing that helps them is they're not from Pittsburgh. Rosemount Ranch says, hola. Hello. Yes, hello, Chad. Hello, everybody. 100K Hitman for $5. Thank you. Says, talk about the Moose Antler guy the world should know. Yeah, I'm gonna get to him in a second. I think, you know what? I'm gonna start off with that. Actually. So if you guys weren't aware, there was a man who is being charged with committing murder. And well, he did murder in probably the most, I guess we'll call it the most Cro-Magnon man way, the most caveman way, the most Neanderthal way. I mean, this is beyond based. I mean, this is like proto-based, like analog based almost, really. And I guess we'll get it going. And he is from Minnesota, so don't worry, it's not Nick. So a guy named Levi Axtell believed that a guy named Lawrence Scully was charged with who was charged with sexually assaulting a girl in 1979, was attempting to groom his daughter. So what did he do? Well, he beat a man with a shovel before he finished him off with a moose antler, which, that moose antlers guys are, like Rocky and Bullwinkle, like, hello, Rocky, like those big old freaking antlers, those are seriously bad. Oh my gosh. Okay. We gotta. Tracamos says, I hate RoboCop 2 because I played Officer Duffy. I get that reference. Most people won't. Where is this? I just saw it pop up. Oh. You guys are ridiculous here. NBC. Oh God. Nick couldn't lift a moose antler with those scrawny shoulders. Yes. I mean, I wish I lived near Nick because I'd get him on a lifting program. Now you might say, like, oh, well, you're kind of fat, Sean. I am, but I have naturally wide shoulders, and I can lift, and I'm working on that now. And I'm not going to say I'll be Mark Metzler or Arnold or Tom Flays, but I'll be like, I'll get jacked again. But yeah, Nick needs a lift. He needs to work on his lats and work on some chest work. Can whiten his shoulders a little bit. Might help him. So we got to get back to this, though. Levi turned himself into the police, and his bond is set at $1 million. So if you guys want to start crowdsourcing, you got to figure out a way to do that. So Axtell showed up at the sheriff's office covered in blood, which is a great way to go to the police station. Just covered in blood. And that way you can tell them, like, look, it's not mine, it's someone else's. And demanding to be handcuffed. Axtell told the police he hit Scully with a shovel 15 to 20 times before he killed him with a moose antler. Guys, I get it. You're taking care of stuff here. And you might be proud of your work, but don't do this because it doesn't help. It helps somebody like me, but that's it. That is it. Come on now. Come on now. Do not talk to the cops, even if you're like, at the end of the day, they're going to be like, bro fist. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. Because the cops are sitting there like, I'd like to bro fist you, but I can't. As the deputy said, they found him at his home, obviously dead from the nature of his head wounds, which makes me think his head kind of got flattened. Or very much like in South Carolina, we found lots of brain water on the floor. Although in Minnesota, it'd be like, oh gosh, yeah, we found his head and it looked like an opened up can of Dinty Moore. As for why he did it, he told the police he believed Scully to have sexually offended against children in the past and believed he would reoffend. So not even that he had attacked somebody he knew. So I'm not saying like I have a daughter and he touched her, which you might get away with, or I saw him diddling a kid. No, I just thought he was going to do it. Now, I will just state to you guys that kill your local pedophile meme. That's a meme. It's not necessarily a directive. Once we're in a without rule of law situation, sure, you can do whatever you want. But while we do have the rule of law, I don't recommend you going out and just offing pedophiles. The government tends to frown upon you infringing on their monopoly of violence. So he was convicted of sexually assaulting a 6-year-old girl in 1979 before being released in 1982. It's also 40 years ago. He had the guy who committed the murder, Axtell, previously requested a protection order alleging Scully was stalking children in his van and writing him talking to attempting to groom my daughter is inappropriate, needs to stop. So the allegation is he was creeping on his daughter somewhat, but it also sounds like he was just making general creep allegations. Oh, Hayden's here. What did you just say, Hayden? Hold on here. Yes, Ginger with the Soul says, oofda. Oh. Hayden saying, aw. Not sure who you're awing for, but. Oh. NBC says the feds won't appreciate him killing their producers of cheese pizza for their collections. Yes. The cabal in DC will not like that. So, the thing was, the order was dismissed, and that while there were investigations made against him, the investigations hadn't revealed anything, and were mostly regarding harassment. And sure, he was probably a creep, but he was also an old guy too, which old people can get annoying at times. At some point over the past couple of years. Yeah, and guys, this is where what you put on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever you have, WhatsApp, MySpace, will come back to hurt you. The only cure for pedophiles is a bullet, or kill your local pedophile or hunt pedophiles for sport. The memes can be used, your memes can be used against you, just like that one, the meme out there, hold on. It's like that meme goes when The court puts my memes out as exhibits. Where is it? Oh, come on. I've had it before. Where is it? Come on. Yeah, here you go. I got it now. But you have to be careful. This can be used against you. And, you're going to have to accept it one way or another here. If you want to. That thing you got to be careful about. And it's here's the great example of it. Everybody likes to joke about their memes, but they can be used against you. And when they do, ooh, I apologize for the iFunny watermark, but very true. When the war crime trial, when they start presenting my memes as evidence, well, guess what they're going to do with this guy if he goes to trial? He's got a bunch of memes that are going to be evidence. Just something to think about. Just something to completely think about here. Just got to be careful, guys. Got to be careful. And I'm sure he thinks he did great, but he very likely is going to prison for the rest of his life. So I don't know how I don't know how he's going to measure that. People ask me why I hate pedophiles. I think I've been abused, but I really just think being protective is a family trait. Yeah, this is not how you do it, guys. This is not how you do it. This is not how you do it. So his family did set up a GoFundMe, but it got shut down because it was being used for legal defense. Even though they say it wasn't. Like, let's be real, that's what it was going to be used for. So I'm sure there's ways you can help the family out. I'm sure they would appreciate them. But that's where we are. So yes, this is out of the style points, I give you 10 out of 10. You went Cro-Magnon style against that. It was very, very good. Very good. I mean, that's even more based than like a Viking style murder. But it's still murder. So gonna have to pay the piper here, man. A ginger with the soul says, "Oh, we got a flathead here, boys." Yes. Oh, an unsung hero for $2. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. It says, "I'm gonna come. Don't come. Don't come." That's a shame. Says, "Wait, did you say bro fist?" Yeah, the cops would have been like, "Put it here, brother." So Stephen H says, "Yo, we're the same age. I just finished a month of Sigma supplement, and I highly recommend Massive Gains. Feel like I'm 23 again." Yeah, working on some stuff there. Oh, Hayden says, "You said we have to wait before we can think of offing the local CPs, so that's why you're like, oh, yes, yes." Do they put them like in an index like we do here, where you can organize them and collate them and download them for future preservation? Because that's interesting if you guys can. And then let's see, what else do you guys? Garrett says, "If they pull up your memes, feel free to laugh out loud." I probably would, but that would be my downfall because I'm going to start laughing. It's a crying shame. Says that's actually sick for free speech. I mean, think about it this way, though. For the Ahmaud Arbery murders, all the stuff from those guys, they hoovered their phones out and they used every Confederate meme, every edgy racial thing they had against them to get them indicted and get them held. And then, they used stuff against them. So it's everything. Just like Gary Oldman's like, everything will be used against you. It's a little too late to yell. I'm a little tired. Goalie says he sends a moose to break him out of prison. Oh. Paul Carroll. Hey, Paul, how you doing, by the way? Says if he killed the guy before he thought he was going to reoffend, that just sounds like the vigilante version of Minority Report. And it does. And there's also, yes, the research that a lot of sex offenders do reoffend, in other ways. So, and likely this guy probably had reoffended, but everybody likes to think everybody thinks vigilante justice is awesome until that vigilante is coming after you. And I always point this out. When you're dealing with vigilante justice, remember, half the population is dumber than you. So you have to risk at some point somebody stupid is going to come after you thinking you committed a crime and is going to be leading a mob against you. That's the reason why we don't encourage mob justice, because the mobs do get it wrong. Does the government get it wrong? Sure. But I generally think the mob is not going to be as stupid, trust the government is not going to be as stupid as the mob, even though the government frequently is as stupid as the mob. So, Freedom Thinker says, I'm going to come. Oh. So, that is where we are, guys. You guys have to be careful about it. But please don't go to the cops covered in blood and tell them about it like you just killed a deer in the middle of the, buck season and you're so happy about it. Don't do that. You're not going to help things at all. Please. Now, the next thing is January 6th. I know you guys, we covered last week what was going on with the Proud Boys. And what I will say, hold on one second, everybody. I need to take care of something. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We are back. So, did Monty call again? No, Monty did not call again. No, I would put him on right away if he called. But we are up to January 6th. And the too long didn't read about what happened with the Proud Boys case. Judge says that's nice, don't care. We're moving on. So the judge let the FBI delete evidence, and now there's some of the communications the FBI has said, well, they're classified, so they have no right to see them. They didn't make the FBI explain what's classified, what wasn't classified, and the judge just said, don't care. I would recommend following Julie Kelly on Twitter. She outlined it a lot, but basically, you can't get a fair trial in D.C., and D.C. is a corrupt shithole. We already knew that, though. So moving on, what's going to happen? There is another round of prosecutions that are going to happen and arrest. It's never going to end. This is a never-ending witch hunt. This is, we'll probably be dealing with this for another 2-3 years, at least for the 2024 election. Why? Well, because the DOJ is corrupt as shit. And how do we know this? Well, a letter was sent to the chief judge involved with everything here. And we know this because it was leaked. More than 1,000 additional people could still face charges, which means they very likely will. In connection with the January 6, 2021 riot on the U.S. Capitol, according to a letter from the U.S. Attorney in Washington. The one-page letter, which was reviewed by Bloomberg News, which makes it sound like they were not supposed to see it, offered details on what Attorney General Merrick Garland, yes, the whiny little bitch who has the biggest axe to grind because he didn't get his spot on the Supreme Court, Paul Widow Merrick, or you little fucking bitch baby, crying about your FBI agents. What a homo. I hope you hear this, Attorney General Garland. You're a little bitch. Biatch. Oops, caught that right at the right second. Offer details on one of the largest, most complex, resource-intensive investigations in our history. Is it necessary? Is it warranted? Is it really the largest? You're telling me this is larger than what you guys were doing hunting down September 11th? Really? Then maybe we need to turn it down a little bit. We've done a little too much. But what do I know? I don't work for the FBI, but I'm also not a scumbag. So there you go. The October 28th letter to also, no, they are not empty cans. They are full bottles. We got one. We got two. And this is the third one, just clinked together. The October 28th letter. So there might be some that have since gone on because this is a couple months old. As the department neared its 900th arrest, 900 people. They estimate an additional 700 to 1,200 defendants. Think about that. Let's just cut that in half. Let's just say it's like 800, maybe even 900. That's a ton of people. That's a ton of people. 1,700, 1,800 arrests and prosecutions. More than 1,000 people have already been charged and they've clogged the dockets for the past 2 years. Yeah, that's the problem when you do this kind of crap. You ruin the system. This is it's never going to end. It's never going to fucking end. And it's disgusting as shit. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Map hanger for $5 for $5 dues from the good land of Australia. Says, new January 6th arrest. Does that mean General Mark White Rage Milley is going to be arrested for his insurrection? I wish he was. And I wish he was court-martialed and have to face, a wall for what he's done. But no, nothing's ever going to happen to him. He's going to get his job at Raytheon or whatever, just like Lloyd Austin. And he'll ride off into the sunset. After all, I mean, he checks it in with his Chinese handlers. So, fuck you, General Milley, if you're out there. I hope you see this too. NBC says, can't wait for every Democrat ad for the next decade to have January 6th footage. Yes, but remember, all this footage has been leaked, so there's a bunch of it that the Republicans are going to be able to show, and the right's going to show. So this is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Because what's going to happen, this is going to burn out. It's going to go on forever. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to drag on and on and on and on. It's going to be incredibly difficult to determine what they're doing. He doesn't know how many of these are going to be misdemeanor versus felony, but a higher percentage of felonies. Well, of course you're going to use felonies. You're going to use the full weight of the government to crush people because you're a bunch of corrupt assholes. You get far more out of the felony convictions than the misdemeanors do. You ruin people's lives at that point. So, yes, just remember, the government does not have your interest at heart. We expect the pace of bringing new cases will increase in an orderly fashion. They've been doing it hot and heavy since then, so I don't know how much more they can do. So, the court continues to manage, and this is Beryl Howells, the judge, saying, the court continues to manage its caseload and trial calendar efficiently. How about everybody's rights? Are you managing those efficiently? No, you're not. You're railroading people, and you're fucking them along like their constitutional rights mean dick, like the rules of evidence mean dick. But yes, justice is appearing to run fine. Yeah, the trains are running on time, but they're covered in gore because they run over 55 people every second. But the trains are running on time, but they're killing the shit out of everything and ruining everything. But they're running on time. Notwithstanding delays occasioned by the pandemic. Oh, yeah, we can't forget about the COOF while we're talking about destroying everyone's rights and that, the trains are running on time. Well, hey, not even the COOF could stop us from fucking over all these people. So far the courts managed to manage the increased caseload well. And should a surge occur at a later date, the court would assess what additional steps, if any, it should take. Like, I don't know, dumping cases, dismissing things? Well, no, that's not a step they'll take. More than 500 people have pled guilty. Yes, they've been bullied and fucked with by the government. And I'm sure all those people have not suffered constitutional violations. None of them at all. And more than 50 have been convicted at trial. Yes. Can't get a fair trial in D.C. The high-profile wins include convictions in the seditious conspiracy. Ooh, boogie, boogie, boogie. Case against the Oath Keepers. Ooh. Yeah, you sure saved the world there. The attorney's office, the U.S. attorney estimates between 2,000 and 2,500 people went in the Capitol. NBC is reporting that online sleuths, because yes, that's what we need. More fucking online true crime people. If you guys thought the people dealing with Alex Murdaugh were bad, like all the sedition hunters and all these jackoffs running around, yes, we need more true crime fucks running around. That's what we really need. More of that. Accused of people accused of going inside. Oh my God, they went inside. Jesus, they went inside a building. Assaulting police? Okay. That's not good. Destroying property. What did they destroy? They broke some windows. Oh my God. It's closer to 3,000. Oh. One judge told people that he regretted retiring midway through their case, but at 85 years old, he couldn't stay for the next 1,000 cases, the DOJ promised. I mean, listen to that. The judge is like, I'm sorry I couldn't stick around and help you fuck another 1,000 people. Listen to that. I'm just too old. I can't do it anymore. I can't help you stick around and fuck more people over. Just absolute. Just fuck. The temerity of a judge to say it like that. Well, I wish I could help you stick around, but I'm going to go play, pickleball. I hope he slips in the shower. Notice I didn't say I was doing anything feds. I was hoping the shower takes care of it and he slips. Makes you want to fucking drink. Makes you want to drink. Oh. So, not even making you guys pay for this one. Ooh, it's been a little while. We get on to Tucker Carlson releasing the Capitol footage. Notice that this has prompted calls among some defendants and conservative commentators for judges to review cases. Not, hey, everybody, including the ACLU and everybody on the left who thinks that, we should protect people's rights, is concerned. Nope, it's just on the right. Why? Because they're a bunch of crackpots. And if you have watched it, yes, a majority of the footage shows what was already, the government said they've already provided the overwhelming majority of the footage. Not all of it. Oh, we gave you most of it, but not all of it. Notice the government said, we gave you most of the evidence. Close enough. Good enough for government work. And what was already provided in the limited clips Carlson showed didn't exonerate anyone. How do we know? Because you didn't give it to all. We didn't give it to us. And how do we know that's it? How do we know Tucker Carlson has everything? We don't. And we can't trust the government because they already said, well, we didn't give it to you. We didn't think it mattered. That's not your job. You give everything. Absolute fucking horseshit. Absolute horseshit. Lord, I selling Nick clinking bottles. Yeah, well. Third rail, Sean. Yes, is that Labatt Blue? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Autodrome 96 is where there are even 2,100 people that won the Capitol. I don't know. Don't know. Not sure. This is who we are. Says 900 people better start arming themselves. Can't condone that action, but I understand what you're saying. It's a crying shame says, I just bought new grow lights for my tomatoes, and my hubby has me thinking the feds will be busting in like I'm growing pot. Not necessarily the feds, but your local police. If they get word that, like, well, hey, we heard you got grow lights, and they're going to say, oh, well, she bought grow lights and her electricity usage is up. You're goddamn right. They will, if they knew about it, they would try to do that to you. So, yes, and Eric Folm says there still haven't been really any arrests in the summer of love. Yep. 2 attorneys got in trouble for chucking Molotovs, and I'm finishing up that video. They got like a year in prison. Oh, well, just a year. Throwing little fucking bombs, like literal bombs. Like the government considers them no different than a grenade. Throwing bombs, and they got a year. Alpha Fox saying speedy trial invocation time doesn't matter. Oh, I would be terrified to do that because they'll just railroad you quicker. You think the judge is going to stop any of that? The judge is going to rubber stamp the whole thing. The Court of Appeals is going to rubber stamp it. And the Supreme Court's not going to touch your case. They are not going to touch your case. So, no, I would not. I don't think that's a good idea. Chris Knobloch says they're basically chilling any right to right-wing involvement in public. Yeah, they are. Yep. Wrestler Town says, yes, the government said we're going to arrest 1,000 people. We just don't know what for yet. Yes. Peter Spiney says, yes, they're going to arrest Epps for his perjury to Congress. Yes, which came out during the release of this videos and at the Proud Boys trial. Yes, Ray Epps, you scumbag. You may have escaped man's justice, but you will not escape God's justice. I can assure you. Jacob Castro says, are rights still a thing? No, and I apologize for kind of bringing it up like they are still a thing, but yeah, rights, not really. They're not really a thing anymore. I do feel a little foolish for talking about them in that way. Alpha Fox saying government solves the trolley problem. Yes. Yes, I'm going to have to. Should probably clip that, but yes, the government does solve the trolley problem. Just killing everybody. Cave Johnson says trains killing people. Sounds like your Factorio game. Yes. Oh. Didn't the SPLC defend them? No, but they got really good, decent legal help from prominent DC firms. Like they got, I don't know how they could afford it. People hooked them up, obviously. They got hooked up. Fauci walks free. Yep, presented without comment. Yeah. Epps is an FBI. I think Epps is actually DHS, where he's got some intel ties. I don't know if he's an FBI agent. I think he's got intel ties. This is who we are. Baked Alaska turned. Baked Alaska is a bitch, and he snitched. So, hope he enjoys his prison sentence. Another scumbag groiper. Another scumbag groiper. Eric Fulham saying, weren't their parents lawyers too? No, they weren't, but they were, I think, first and second generation immigrants who actually did decent, but Eric Fulham says Baked is a snitch, not a Fed. He's too dumb to be a Fed. Those aren't mutually exclusive arguments. Feds are stupid, so. Epps was a contractor. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you are right. So, and I was saying, yep, the Catboy lovers should be viewed with skepticism. Oh, very much so. Yes, the Catboy lovers who think they're gonna hop on a half track and cruise to Minsk. Yes. Castro says he's not too dumb to be ATF. That's impossible. Very true. Very true. Oh, well, after yelling at the clouds for that one, what are we? going on to now. Yes. So the state of Maryland is looking at passing a law, which it's interesting. Why? It's the idea that, and I'm sure we've heard this now, especially for men, but I think for a lot of people in general, your brains don't fully develop till you're about 25 years old. And that's something we've, oh, actually, hold on here. Jacob Pete says, do you subscribe to the theory Fuentes glows? I mean, at times, yes, at times, no. It's hard to tell. But in Maryland, they're going ahead with that because if you are under the age of 25, you're not eligible. You won't be eligible for certain criminal offenses. It's interesting in that regard. If your brain hasn't fully developed, can you be charged with certain crimes? Now, the one that they are highlighting, and there's other ones, but the biggest one is under Maryland House Bill 1180 would end the requirement of first-degree murder for someone under the age of 25 charged with killing committed during a felony. So basically, for felony murder, it wouldn't automatically be a first-degree murder charge. Maryland doesn't have the death penalty, so a first-degree murder charge could carry life in prison without parole. Now, why is that important? Well, now you're going to have to show evidence of things. And for example, if I am under 25 and I light a house on fire, but I thought it was vacant and I ended up killing someone inside, there would no longer be an automatic first-degree murder charge because you did commit arson, but you didn't know anybody was there. So the way it works is in Maryland, a person can be charged with first-degree murder if the crime is deliberate or premeditated, committed by lying in wait, committed by poison, or someone is killed during the course of another felony, such as carjacking or burglary. So that's a very common one. You're robbing the bank and somebody dies during the robbery. Or you do something, you run from the cops and you kill somebody during the chase. Someone dies during the chase. Now, there are times where felony murder has been applied to people because the police ended up killing someone. And I don't think those are fair, especially at times where the police are acting recklessly or stupidly and they cause a death. But, during a chase, I could see that one being valid, or the police have to come break into the bank when you take hostages and someone dies. There's times where I could see it possibly working out. But generally, like if I carjack you and kill you, well, now that's felony murder. Or if it's burglary and I'm burglarizing your house, and well, that couldn't be felony murder. Oh, we got a cargo pilot guy for $4.99. Thank you. You should collab with a civil rights attorney on YouTube. Yeah, John Bryan, he's a great guy. I love his stuff. Followed him for quite a few years, actually. He makes great content. I think you two would get along great. Yeah, I actually tried to reach out to him with the stuff for the attorney here in Ohio that got arrested during the press conference. I think that would just be obviously he's not representing the guy, but I think that would be a neat one. Just to, look at all the violations of law. It's really cool the amount of people who screw up. So yeah, I reached out to him with that. I know he's super busy. The guy runs a full-time caseload of civil rights and 1983 litigation out in West Virginia solely. That's how busy he is. Along with, I think he does other stuff too on top of it in his practice. So I know he's busy. I've reached out to him. Hopefully hear back from him soon. So yeah, I definitely would. I think he's super cool. I think he does a lot of good stuff. And if you guys haven't seen him, the civil rights lawyer on YouTube, just literally type that in. Yeah, great stuff from him. Great stuff from him. But getting back to this, the new bill will remove that last qualifier for people under 25. Meaning, if you're under 25 and you commit a felony and someone dies unintentionally, you're no longer charged with first-degree murder. One of the fundamental elements of a just and fair system is that individuals are held accountable for the crimes they commit or tend to commit, says the woman pushing this, who is a Democrat from near Baltimore. One of the fundamental elements, besides it being fair and just, is that it's equal. There's equal application under the law. To sit here and say someone who's 24 commits a crime is now different from someone who's 26 and committing a crime when they're both adults. That's nonsense. I get the idea that there's a difference between a juvenile and adult. Sure. But to have tiers of adult offenses? No. No. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. That doesn't work. That does not work. That does not work for me. There's no reason for that. Because yes, you want it to be just and fair, but there has to be an equal application. If there's not, if there's no equal application, is it really just? I think that becomes a debatable issue. And if it's not equally applied, the laws are not equally applicable. Are they fair? Certainly they are not. And that takes no discussion any further. That point dies right there. If they are not applied fairly, well, that means they're not being applied equally. Tiering a system like that and tiering the justice system doesn't make things fair. You create situations where you have protected classes. And it's no different than if I'm 25 and I rob a bank and somebody dies, than I'm 26 and someone dies. Oh, there's no difference. There shouldn't be any difference. Because literally at that point, I can commit any other crime and I'm applicable, but it's just this crime is different? No. No. No, it doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. You know, yes, people under 25 don't have full brain development. Okay, they don't have full brain development, but it's not as though if you're under 25, you're just going around like this, like all day long. Now, okay, yes, if you're high on fentanyl, probably, or you smoke crack all the time. But if you're under 25, you're pretty much there. Your brain's pretty much fully developed. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. You can't go carjacking somebody. You can't go burglarizing people. You can't go running up in someone's house with a gun. You can't act like a hoodlum. And you know what? The idea I couldn't fathom somebody dying. No. No. If you couldn't fathom someone dying, then maybe you shouldn't be out on the street, period. Because I'm not asking you to, think out 15 steps ahead. Literally, hey, what could go wrong? And they know what could go wrong. This is just a furtherance of trying to enable lawlessness on the streets. That's all this is. It's an undermining of justice and the rule of law. Because yes, when you're under 25, you could do every other thing somebody who's over 25 can do. You have every other right. Except now you can go commit certain crimes. Just, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. It's not going to end well. 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 So. Raging Cajun is a new member. Thank you. I appreciate the support there. Really do. Thank you for becoming a member. Cheryl saying if they can't be charged with murder 25, they shouldn't be able to vote. Well, yes, I think if you're determining this person cannot commit certain crimes, well, are we considering them as somebody with diminished capacities? If they have diminished capacities, we don't allow people who have diminished capacities to do a lot of things in society. Or if they're considered, on par with a juvenile, we don't let juveniles do a lot of stuff. So I think that brings up the discussion of what are we doing and what are we allowing? Oh, Raging Cajun just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. I'm sure whoever gets them is going to be appreciative that they received them. Let's see here. Porcelain Thunder says Montgomery County is next to DC. Oh, okay. Well, there's part of your answer too. That's DC is not exactly Beaver Cleaverville. It's got a lot of problems there. Jacob Pete says, so is this thing in Maryland only going to be applied to cases involving minorities? Maybe. The problem is, it appears the way it's worded, for the port, there's discretion involved. And that's an issue when you have discretionary application of the law like that. Not necessarily the idea of, can I prosecute this person, yes or no? Am I going to do it, yes or no? Prosecutors have that discretion. But saying whether or not you can automatically charge them with felony murder, or you can if you want to, but you don't have to. Well, that's a level of discretion I think that becomes an issue. Because at that point, yes, you can wield that discretion as a weapon. I think it really comes down to what this looks like when it finally gets passed, and we're a long way from that. So, unlike the Illinois cashless bail law, which has already been passed, we're going to get to that in a minute. I think this is still at the beginning stages. So we'll have to see. We'll kind of have to save this for later. Dick Dickstein says unintentionally dies isn't first-degree murder anyway. If you commit felony murder, though, the state has the right to punish that as first-degree murder can be multiple things. Yes, generally first-degree murder is premeditated and planned, but also if you commit another felony and you cause a murder, well, sorry, we're considering that the same level of offense because we think you should not be allowed out of prison ever again. So that's the state has the right to orchestrate its laws that way, and that's not a bad thing. Yes, Jacob, once again, yes. Is justice is still a thing? Question mark. Yeah. Once again, I apologize for ranting and complaining about something that doesn't really exist anymore. So, yes. Freedom Thinker says by 15, you know what's right and wrong. Oh, 100% I agree. Third Railify says, but trans kids can decide when they're 4. Once again, no lies detected. So, third rail saying, I like some consistency. Yeah, well, you're not going to find it here, man. You won't find it here, brother. Also, Analytical T for gifting out 5 memberships as well. Thank you very much. I know whoever's going to get one will be very happy to get one there. Necromancer says, I'm under 25 and I'm basically a lobotomite. Yes. Yes, you're a servitor. You have no independent thought. BLT saying it's specifically just murder. It looks like for now it's specifically just addressing first-degree murder. There are probably other offenses too, but that's obviously the biggest one. First-degree murder is as serious as it gets in Maryland. So, I mean, obviously some of this is sensational by addressing the primary, big law, but I'm sure it will probably be applied to other statutes as it goes through the deliberative process. Just like I'm just a bill, sitting here on Capitol Hill. He's going to get amended. He's going to get run over by the lobbyist. So, Cargo Pilot guy for $4.99. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat and support. Says it's not fair. I have to retire from flying a jet at 65. At 65, I thought you guys had to retire earlier than that. I know, like air traffic controllers, at 55, it's a hard cutoff. You're done. So I didn't know it was 65, but okay. But they'd happily hand an 80-year-old the nuclear codes. Yeah. Yep. You're not. Don't disagree with you there. This is who we are, says Tim Pool lives in Maryland. Yes. I wonder if his brain is developed. We'll have to pull the beanie off and see if we can see his skull underneath. Zero Fuck says, wow, 55 for air traffic controllers? Yeah, that's a cutoff line. After that point, you can no longer do it by law. So that is one I just alluded to it previously. We're going to talk about what's going on in Illinois, the great state of Illinois. If you guys remember, we talked about this before. Illinois is going to hear the Safety Act is going in front of the Supreme Court. Now, I know Bronca's talked about this, and I know Instructor Mike, I know he's been talking about it because that's certainly, if you guys haven't followed Instructor Mike, and actually here, hold on. Let me show him some love real quick. Instructor Mike. You guys haven't had the chance to see his channel yet. He's a YouTuber. He's out of Chicago. He does security work, and does like CCW training, things like that. Also just talks about, being smart, smart and thinking about what you're doing. He talks about a lot of different things. He talks about, conflict resolution, things of that nature. Give him a look. Does a lot of good stuff. Does a lot of stuff on Wednesdays. So yeah, just give him a chance if you haven't seen him. He's talked about this Safety Act, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I've seen people's reactions when I say there are parts of this I do like. Do I think that the complete abolition of cash bail should be a thing? No. But do I think a lot of cash bail should be eliminated? Yes. There are a lot of people who get kind of fucked and have to sit in jail for a long time because they cannot afford to get out. Now, a lot of people might think, oh, well, you can't scrounge up $500. For a lot of people, that's hard. Or if you're going to spend the money, I got to spend the money on my attorney instead of getting out. So guess what happens? You don't get out. Or if it's even bigger amounts of money, let's say you got a $100,000 bond. Do you got 10 G's laying around right now? Sure, you might have to put your house up, but your house might not be eligible to be put up. Sometimes certain courts have restrictions and rules that, like, you have to have it free and clear. You can't have it encumbered by loans or a mortgage. Can you put up a car? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the bondsman doesn't want your car. So there are issues with cash bail. And I think that having some discretion in a court, allowing to decide what can be done and what can't be done, isn't a bad idea. Now, yes, everybody's like, oh no, this is just like the purge. Chicago already has like a couple hundred, like 600 murders a year. How much worse is it going to get? I don't really think it's going to get that bad. Anyway, the Supreme Court of Illinois heard arguments about it because earlier this year, a judge in one of the counties stopped it, put an injunction out, and that has gone all the way up to the top. The bill was set to go on January 1st, but a flurry of lawsuits crushed it from going any further. In December, a judge stopped it and ruled cash bail unconstitutional, which I think is very interesting. The idea that under the United States Constitution, under the 8th Amendment, we have a prohibition on excessive fines and bail. Okay. Well, we're not going to have cash bail, so we're getting rid of the excessive bail. Sorry, that's unconstitutional. We can't do that. That's kind of where they're starting. And you may not like it, but that's where you have to think about things. You can't just not. I mean, to come out and say, sorry, no, you've got to make people pay to get out of jail. Oh, that should. I didn't mean that to come out like Alex Jones, like the globalists want you to pay to get out of jail. Joe. No. The idea that you're starting out on that foot is wrong. You shouldn't have to pay to get out of jail. But this act requires that police have to serve, for instance, a notice to appear and then a warrant on someone. Okay, on 2 occasions. Why are we not serving notices to appear? Why wouldn't we want to do that? I mean, that sounds pretty reasonable. But we've now doubled the number of instances where law enforcement is going to come in contact with perhaps a fugitive or a very dangerous individual. Not, oh, they're going to be bad. It's just, well, they might be a bad guy because they got charged. Once again, this is where you have to be careful and listen to what the prosecutors are saying. Well, they might be a bad guy. Well, why are they a bad guy? Because we charged them. So the people you charge with a crime, you don't want to have to go out and serve because it might be bad guys because you determine they're a bad guy. Whether or not they're a bad guy. That's some brilliant logic there. Brilliant logic. I just, and one of the attorneys and one of the county state's attorneys involved, which the prosecutor says, we feel very strongly it's a public safety issue, but at the same time, we want to join the fight towards reforming bail. Well, okay, we're going to get rid of cash bail for some things. Well, no, I don't want that. Well, what do you want? Well, I'm okay with bail reform. Okay, well, what kind of bail reform do you want? Just, no, I don't want any bail reform. They really don't want any bail reform. They don't care. what I will say is it's not looking good for the state and the people arguing for cash bail. I think it's looking good for the people who back this law. Because when the judges got down to looking at things, the laws don't restrict the judge's ability to impose cash bail. It's discretionary and they have to make arguments why. And the prosecutors have to offer arguments why this person has needed cash bail, not that they automatically have cash bail, which God forbid we force them to explain things. Notice nothing's being taken away. It's just the automatic application of it, which I think we would all want, because automatically applied things, zero tolerance and blindly applying things isn't noble. It creates a mess. Um, and it's the court got going and they point out that this doesn't amend their constitution. Nope. So it doesn't change anything. It's changing statutory issues. Once again, remember, the Eighth Amendment is always out there. Is this really going to be bad? No. Nope. I don't think so. I think, Charles Forrest, you're right. Zero tolerance is for zero brains. Zero tolerance is for lazy people. I mean, they don't have to think. That's for the spineless. They could say, oh, it's out of my hands. I got to do it. And this is very important here. There's no language in the Constitution that says you have to have monetary bail. And that's very true, because there's none. It just says you're not entitled to, you can't be forced to suffer excessive bail. Okay, well, bail could be a lot of different things. There can be all kinds of terms and conditions upon your bail that could be excessive. Prior restraints, restrictions on movement, abilities to assemble and associate with people, among other things. You might not, no contact orders. Can't live at this house. There's other ways the court can restrict you. So it's not just money. So we will see what happens. But I think that there's a lot going on here, and I think there should be a push for cashless bail in a lot of situations. Now, do I think in states like New York, where they had the guy rob a bank 5 days in a row, and then they finally held him up? Okay, yeah, that got out of hand. But generally speaking, we should be encouraging governments to not have cash bail. If the person's really a threat, fine. Come out and explain why they're a threat. But the presumption should be on the state to make that argument. There shouldn't be an automatic presumption of, I'm going to make this guy sit. Because once again, you do that to people, you cause problems for a lot of people. Right now, you get arrested tomorrow and you're sitting for 3 days. Because you might not get seen the next day if you're arrested and you have a warrant. Pop. Okay, great. You get arrested on a case. Your bail set at $500. You might not be able to get that money right away. Even if you could, it's going to be probably a whole day you're sitting there. Well, you just missed work. Hey, boss, I missed work. Why? Well, I got arrested. There's a good chance you're getting fired. Maybe. But instead of, it's cashless bail. Okay, he gets arrested, he gets booked, and then released. Well, you might be able to keep your job. But now you're forcing people to make payments, and they got to put money up. They take a couple $100 and they put it up at the courts. That money's now locked down. They can't get it back. Well, now got to pay rent. You got to pay cars. You got to pay this and that. Well, now that money's gone. And now you're putting people in the bad spots. Now, does that mean the government is unduly forcing problems on people? And I see it time and time again. Now, you can make whatever arguments about people being in poor financial situations and bad economic straits all day long. But when the government's orchestrating and exacerbating it, that's a problem. Woody says 72 hours here. Yeah, you're supposed to be seen within 72 hours, but you might sit for a couple of days. You might sit for a day. You might sit for 2-3 days. It all depends. That's a shame saying that's the law in Indiana. Yeah. So, Ninja Bread Man saying pay to win justice system. To an extent, it is. If you have some money sitting around, yeah, you can afford to get out of jail. But I bring this up when I teach CCW class, or I'm asked to come in and talk about the legal part of it. Okay, great. You get lucky and your bond set at $100,000. What, 10%? You got 10 G's sitting around? You got stacks on deck like a gangster? No, you don't. Your bond's $500,000, $1 million. You got 100 G's. You got 100 bands. You got 100 bands sitting around. Nobody does. So it magnifies because, yeah, for a lot of people, like, oh, I could post $500. Sure, maybe you could, but a lot of people can't. Finno saying that the trick to getting caught red-handed, the trick to getting to court fast is being caught red-handed. Yeah. That's don't necessarily recommend that, but that can sometimes speed things up. It's a crying shame to stop being women. Try that, dudes. I think I walked in the middle of something here and I'm not sure. So I'm gonna step back out of that conversation. Silver Smurfer says, I can come up with 10 G's, but I can't come up with 100. Third Railify says $500 would break me. $500 would break a lot of people. I mean, they say that most, how many people can afford $1,000 or a sudden $500 repair or sudden expenditure of it? They can't. Ingrid says, this is why pimps have jewelry. Buy a Rolex. Yeah. Dan Saturday says, yeah, $500 would be tricky to muster in a flash. Yes. Yep. Goalie says, insert the Patrick, I have $3 SpongeBob meme. Harbor Warble says, so drug dealers are the most prepared to deal with the justice system. Weird. Yes. I can tell you this much, man. When I've had cases and whether they are, regardless of their race, they have money ready. It's a business expense for them. They're prepared for it. Or if they don't have it, they get that money lickety split. Like, hey, we're getting ready. Hey, will you represent him? Sure, I need that money. Well, he's got a hearing on Thursday. Well, it's Tuesday. I'm like, you better get me the fucking money. And guess what happens? Boom, money shows up. So, yeah, bad guys are, bad guys generally have this understood because they understand the business, because they deal with the business all the time. Harrietman says for $20. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for that super chat. $20. Given your comment here still, I really appreciate it. The amount. You know what? I didn't say it because it is St. Patrick's Day. I should have said it earlier, but every, I don't know, $100 I'll probably sling back a shot. How about that? So we got the whiskey for the great feast tomorrow. But if a few more banks fail and the economy tanks, ain't none of y'all going to be able to post bond. Very true. But if the economy tanks, the banks fail and the economy tanks, it's going to be a little more like it's going to be, oh, by the way, YouTube, this is a 29 round magazine. It's going to be a little more of this going on than going to the bank. Just saying. Oh. So that'll be, Porcelain Thunder says, what to business? Yep, Hartman says facts. Yeah, nothing but facts there. Charles Watt says $500 would be a problem due to my $8,000 a week drug habit. From Alex Murdaugh. Yes. Jay saying, good night. Got to go to work tomorrow. Well, thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. The last two things are going to be the good ones. So Just pick up from here tomorrow, and it'll be the good stuff. Saving the best for last. Patty Lettuce says pray to Rosary every $100. God, that would take forever. Oh, that would take forever. Darcy for $20. Thank you, Darcy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Saying, I was disgusted today. Ooh, what? Nope. Okay. It exploded on Discord for a second. I was making sure nothing happened or nobody died. Darcy for $20 saying, I was disgusted today watching a guy in Atlanta sitting for 625 days for indictment on aggravated assault with a stop sign. No injuries. Dude did not have a dollar to his name. It was sad. And yeah, if you're watching that, that's when I tell you guys to go see court, that's what I want you guys to see. This is the sausage being made. This is the stuff that happens. That guy's been sitting in the Fulton County jail for 600 days and he can't get out. He's being held captive for $500. Does it sound like he really needs to be there? Because if he was really that bad of a guy, they probably would have indicted him by now. And also, it doesn't help. COVID has ruined everything. Timetables have been suspended because of COVID. But yeah, it truly is sad. It truly is sad. Alex, you know, I'm appreciative of you being how proud you are out there. And while I'm not going to block you, I think you need I think you're gonna need to take a couple minutes here. Just ice your titties down just a hair. Just a hair, Alex. But anyways, Darcy, thank you very much if I didn't say that. Patty loves his slancha. Yes. Graham is saying a stop sign is a deadly weapon. All right. I've explained this before. Yeah, explain this again. Okay. So obviously, if I held up a gun, that's a deadly weapon. If I held up Mr. Stabby, Mr. Stabby here, the Earl Stabsworth, this is a deadly weapon. There's no question about it. It's a knife. It's meant to do what it does. Okay. But this pen, is it a deadly weapon by itself? Well, no, it's a pen. I can write with it. I can do whatever I want. Fine. I try to stab you in the eye socket with this, and I try to cause you serious physical harm. Or I start stabbing you in the neck, or I start causing you serious bodily injury. Guess what? I turned this into a deadly weapon. I made this a deadly weapon. I adapted it for a purpose. That's how you can make this. Everything can be a deadly weapon if you use it as such. Now, there's things, like I said, there are obvious deadly weapons that are automatically presumed to be a deadly weapon. But this beer bottle, beer bottles, it's not like in the movies. If I start hitting you with this, it's going to hurt. They aren't going to break. And even if it does break, I'm holding the end of the beer bottle. I can start stabbing you with it. I transformed that into a deadly weapon. So think about a stop sign. I mean, that's a big chunk of metal you could hurt somebody with pretty bad. So Joseph DiMartino says, Clarence Darrow was asked to defend a bank robber who didn't have the cash for his retainer but felt he could raise it in a couple of hours. I've heard that story as well. Yes. Why do you hate Freeze Peach? I don't hate Freeze Peach. I just gave somebody a chance to cool their jets. He's still here. I was also trying to read along, but it was all him it was just screaming, so I was trying to catch up. Yes. Goalie's right. Yeah, this is a great example of it. John Wick, he's like, John Wick killed 3 men with a pencil. A fucking pencil. Graham is saying, so basically Jason Bourne? Yeah, Jason Bourne. Exactly. Or as John Everett says, yes, the Joker. Let me show you a magic trick. Ta-da! And it's gone. So, uh, Lucas saying, "Don't stop sign me, bro." Okay. All right. So, where are we on to next? I think we've got a couple left. All right, we're gonna say the best for last, but we're gonna get to this thing here. If you guys don't remember seeing this, um, there was a guy down in Florida who got into a road rage incident and started shooting. Well, we are gonna watch this real quick, and we're gonna talk about what happened there. So, I need to get this up here. So this happened down in Florida last year. And this is a guy who's driving along, and just watch what happens.
Oh my God. Oh, fuck off.
At this point, he just brake checked somebody who was honking at him. Nice job muzzle sweeping yourself on your legs with all those, you know, arteries there. So obviously he shoots. But if we go back a little bit, he claims that when you hear that dunk noise, he claims that was them shooting at him. So, yes, that really happened. And you really did just watch that happen. Oh. Now, what happened there? Well, he ended up shooting at the car, obviously. And what happened recently is the charges against him were dropped. And this happened over on I-95 in Miami. So what do we know? The state's attorney's office, so their prosecutor's office, dismissed the charges. Eric Popper says he was being tailgated on his way home from work in July of 2021. The video shows him slamming on his brakes and then shooting later. The highway patrol says that the other driver hurled a water bottle, and from what my understanding is, the other driver admits to hurling a water bottle, but Popper thought it was gunfire. The state says, they watched the video many times. We didn't see a water bottle. Now, this is where his attorney's wrong. This has nothing to do with stand your ground law. I think under the stand your ground law, no. This is just regular self-defense. Did you have a reason to believe you were facing death or serious bodily harm? And was that action reasonable? Now, is it reasonable to me? I don't know. I don't know. Catherine K says, did he kill somebody? No, he did not. So, A-Dubs is saying, to be fair, I've been in armored vehicles when shot, and it does sound like that. Okay, great. But this is where, if he thinks he was honestly being attacked, does he have the right to use self-defense? Sure. But is he the right guy for the situation? I don't know if that's correct, though. This whole thing, it's just not good. Remember what I've told you, and Bronca's echoed my sentiments before. You want to look like the most reluctant participant possible. When you're on video, like going like this, like, fuck fucking brake checking people and slamming on your brakes, and then you're pulling your pistol out and you're just kind of like chilling out with it. He doesn't seem scared. He doesn't seem worried. And then all of a sudden there's a thump and it just, you know, does that look like a guy who's in fear of his life? I don't know. Now, I will say in his defense, some of you people out there might make fun of him for crouching down while he's shooting. Well, if you think you're actually getting shot at, you're going to crouch down. But also, notice he's probably never done that before. If you've never shot a gun inside a car, if you get a chance, go to a class or a range that allows it. It gets really loud real quick. It's loud. There's smoke. There's crap flying everywhere off the glass or whatever you're shooting through. I mean, it's not pleasant. And I'm sure he can't hear anymore at that. Well, maybe he can. His body tuned it out, the auditory exclusion. But do I think he was really in danger? I'm not inclined to believe it. But remember, there's a presumption of innocence. So, if there's a tie, it goes to the runner, the base runner. I got to give it to the base runner. Do I think this guy's a fucking idiot? Yes. Do I think he's lucky? Yes. Do I think he's been shitting bricks for the past 2 years? Thinking, oh my God, I might get indicted for this and go to prison? Yes. Do I think he should go out and buy a lottery ticket right now? 100%. Claude is saying shark. Do. Silver Smurfer says, imagine even Tony Soprano doing that. Yeah. Goalie says, if that was a Taurus G2C, that would 100% fit. Yes, it would. Catherine Case says, is a normal drive around the camera recording you? Well, what he likely has is probably like a dash, because there's other video of this. He has a dash cam set up where he also has out the rear window of his car. And you can see him brake checking that car. And it's likely one of the ones where there's facing inside the car, but also facing forward out of the car. That's not uncommon at all. So those can be helpful like that. AC guy says he killed his own car. Yes. And Patty says you can't shoot wildly out of your car. Any one of those rounds could have hit someone innocent. Yeah, it looks like though he's shooting at the car as it's going by. So, yeah. Angry says Bronca covered this the other day. The closed eye shots are trouble if they charged him. Yeah, but I think he's got a hell of a defense. Oh my God, like I've got smoke in my eyes. I can't see. I'm ducking down because I thought I was taking fire, so I shot back where the car was. That's not going to hurt him. It's him being an agitating asshole from the start's what's going to hurt him, I think. So that's where he's going to have problems. Guilty for his terrible taste in music. Yeah. That's a shame. Says looks like provocation. And even if it's not provocation, he does not look like the most reluctant person to get involved in the fight. That's the problem. AC guy says don't throw shit at cars. Yeah, 100%. But was this guy really concerned? I don't know. Alpha Fox says yes. Safe flight repair, safe flight replace. Looks like he puts them into his dashboard and car door though, so I don't know if that's going to help him. And Dyla's saying, yeah, he was going to shoot regardless. I think so. And the other big thing is to remember, you're in a car. What can you do when you're inside a car? You can drive away. If they come up next to you, you can go like this, over. Or you can, slow down and get by. There's all kinds of things you can do. Also, if you're in a car, the neat thing is you can go like this. Once again, hello, please help me. It's always an option. Especially like that. Where is... Yeah, his gun being at the range, the car pulled up. That, not necessarily an issue. Like, if you think something's going down, there's nothing wrong with having a gun out and ready to go. Miss Bradley for $20. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate the super chat. Saying, why was he filming himself? Like I said, he could, a lot of those dash cams have, you put it facing out of your front window, your windshield. It also faces back and then into the car, which can be helpful because like the police say like, oh, we think he was using a cell phone when he got in the crash. You can pull that up. Zero Fox is right though. He could be driving for Uber. That would be very critical to have. But he also had a rear-facing dash cam, and there was one of the clips I'd seen previously. I think we probably covered this. It shows him brake checking the car. So that's not uncommon anymore, having an inward-facing dash cam as well. But yes, thank you very much for that. But yeah, he just had an inward-facing camera, so it was already set up that way. Harbor Warble says the glove box gun safe was interesting. Well, that's the console thing. No, I think that's a good idea. Instead of just leaving it sit there, that way it's somewhat protected. But it looks like he has the key and everything sitting there, so it ultimately whoever needed it could open it up. Miss Bradley says I'd probably turn off my camera before grabbing my weapon, and if you did that, that would look very suspicious. It's more important to have the camera on because if you think you're being righteous, it'll protect you. But that's why you got to be doing righteous things. Did any of the bullets hit anybody? No, I think they hit the car, but I think nobody got hurt. That's a shame. Says I have a road rage shooting trial coming up. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Good luck. The AC guy says he shot his own car. I think he was concerned. Was he concerned? I mean, he could still be thinking like an idiot, though. But remember what I said. If there's a tie, I give when all ties go to, ties go in favor of the runner, the base runner. So he gets it. He gets the benefit of the tie. So Bronca says that highways, yeah, Miami's got a lot of road rage incidents down there. So that's not uncommon. Samuel Williams, the founding father, says, doesn't the other guy wave a gun first in the full video? I think you might be thinking of a different one. In this one, no, there's no gun. Yeah, Alpha Fox says Florida allows that type of transport. That type of transport is legal in Ohio and many other states. It's in a locked container. So that generally takes care of the problem. If you're allowed to possess it and you're allowed to carry it, you can carry it in a container like that. Yeah, that's at least I'd argue that's responsible, but given how he has the key sitting there, how responsible is it because somebody can still get in? So, yes, is it chilling dash cam video? No, it's stupidity dash cam video. All right, guys. We're at the hour and a half mark, so we got the last thing. The thing I've been waiting for all night. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Chille Decastro of Delete Laws fame, and I'm sure you might remember him if you guys have followed him on his own channel. Certainly, I've done a couple videos about him, and I've got a couple more important ones to finish, but I do have the saga of Chille trying to copy strike me back at the beginning in December. He tried to take me down, and while I was in the middle of getting ready for that big trial I had, I was, get this, Chille, I was preparing to do a civil case and also beating your ass on the copyright strike. So have fun thinking about that, Chille. Although I know you think I'm keeping a criminal the same dude as well. But yes, Chille Decastro, the constitutional law scholar, the consummate gentleman. 20 years, folks. 20 years he's been a scholar. And steroid user, and stalker, and GHB dealer, and just general kind of like homeless person. Well, he has a habit of getting involved in police stops. Yes, third rail fight. Oh, Sean, you don't know about Chille? Oh, get a hold of me afterwards. I'll show you. I'll curate some things for you. But is he an ADA retard? No. He's no. He's in his own category. He's a world unto himself. So Chille was out in Las Vegas, and he has this habit of harassing police while they stop people. There's nothing wrong with filming police while they stop. I will say that right now. You have a First Amendment right to film the police as they're doing their jobs. I don't care. You know what? If he's sitting there eating a sandwich, sitting there on the side of the road looking at Facebook, you have a right to film him. Okay? If you're getting stopped, you have the right to film him. But there are some limits, just like everything in life. Well, Chille is an asshole, and that doesn't help him when he pushes those limits. But yes, we're gonna talk about it. And the neat thing is, guys, this is only 4.5 minutes long because he gets arrested pretty quick. Now, I will state before we start, I don't know initially if there were some issues with the way this happened. I think there's a mostly gluten giving away 5 memberships. Thank you. I know whoever gets one is going to be very happy to have one. Alpha Fox says, is Mark Adams your 88 tard? No, because he doesn't do anything for me. No, he's not mine. Besides, he ran off once he got outed for being a tool. But Chille, and it's... Anyways, we'll get started. So he is out in Las Vegas. And apparently he's living out there as a bum now. Now, I love how he talks like he doesn't like the cops, but cherries and berries, that's like a police term. He's got this police like slang, fetish slang, and he's got this whole thing. Like, he really wanted to be a cop. We know it. He wanted to, but yeah, he can't be one because he's a lunatic. So let's get to it. Oh, Harbor Warble saying, why is he famous? Because he's a fucking idiot and he put himself out there. That's why he's famous.
You good? Why'd they say that you were pulled over?
Before he releases.
Oh, I see.
Like, what a
Oh, I see. Oh, gotcha.
You can film, but you need to stay away from my driver. Back up. Back up, or I'm going to detain you.
You're going to detain me how? In which way?
Get away from my car.
Actually, I'm standing right here. I'm at least 10 feet away, officer. I got to tell you, I'm a constitutional.
Now, that getting away from it, you need to be however feet away. This isn't Arizona, where I know we talked about this law last year. And if you guys remember, I went on with like Johnny O on the plot hole and talked about it. The cop's saying you have to be X amount of feet away. Well, it's hard to gauge that. But looking at this picture, he's pretty close to the car. And he might say he's 10 feet, but I don't know if that's true. But I think the cop has the right to push you back a little farther, just given this situation here. But that becomes an issue of like, how far away are you? And there aren't clear-cut rules on this, and a lot of this is officer discretion. So, like, this part's getting I'm a little here.
Constitutional law scholar. You can do whatever you want, but just understand something. Your name will go on the lawsuit. Mind your own fucking business.
Your name will go on the lawsuit. Yes, that you keep losing, Chille. Your lawsuits are dumpster fires. He admits to using Chat GTP to write his fucking lawsuits because he's too stupid. Oh, come on, you son of a bitch. There we go.
You good? Why'd they say that you were pulled over? Law scholar. You can do whatever you want, but just understand something. Your name will go on the lawsuit. Mind your own fucking business. Mind your own business. I'm a member of the press.
Mind your own business. He kind of is in your business. You jumped into the cop's business, Chille.
Go get in your car and do your job, little doggy. Go feed her.
You're being detained right now.
Okay, then detain me. Oh, she's free. Oh, you're gonna detain a journalist?
Yes.
2015, Rodriguez.
Come over my car.
Don't put your hands on me.
Come over.
Don't touch me. Don't put your fucking hands on me. No, you're not. I gotta make sure. Hey guys, make sure you guys get my people on the phone. Oh, this is so you ended the stop, you dunce cap. Did you just end the stop?
Ending the stop has nothing to do with anything at this point because the officers moved on to a different person committing a different crime. So ending the stop, and he talks about Rodriguez v. United States, that talks about extending that guy's stop, the driver's stop. He told that guy, you're free to go. I got to deal with this dumb fuck. Chille doesn't seem to understand that doesn't give him legal immunity. But we're going to keep going.
Stop. So that's
Yes.
a 2015.
Come over here to my car.
No.
Come over here.
No.
I need an additional unit.
Bring your supervisor, please. Bring your supervisor, please. Don't touch
over
me.
to the car.
You don't get to put your hands on me. Don't grab me. Don't grab me. This, you're not. First get your supervisor out here. You're not just going to grab me and throw me on the ground. You've already released. You've already released her. This is 2015 Rodriguez versus United States. I'll walk right in front of your car. Let's go. Sure. Come on. Come on. Come on.
You need to set the phone
There you
down.
go.
On
No.
the hood.
No. I'm a constitutional law scholar. You can't take away my
Set the phone down on the hood.
I'm now in
You're being detained. Now you're going to put hands on me.
No.
Come over here.
Why are you grabbing me?
Come over here.
Sure.
Over here.
Let the phone roll.
I don't care about the phone.
Why are you grabbing
Turn
me?
around.
I'm a
Turn
member
around.
of the press.
I love that part, guys. We got to go back and watch that. We got to go back again and watch that. Chille, by the way, has this thing where he's like, I'm not going to let the cops tell me what to do. You don't have dominion over me. I'm a man. I'm an alpha male. I'm an alpha male. It's even better than a alpha male. He's an alpha male. When he's selling date rape drugs.
Constitutional law scholar. You can't take away
Set
my
the
phone.
phone down on the hood.
I'm now in
You're being detained. Now you're going to put hands.
The cop tried to direct him and Chille brushed him off. Like, no. No, Chille. No. Oh. No, Chille.
It's on me.
No.
Come over here.
Why are you grabbing me?
Come over here.
Sure.
Over here.
Let the phone roll.
I don't care about the phone.
Why are you grabbing
Turn
me?
around.
I'm a
Turn
member
around.
of the press.
Turn around.
I'm not doing anything.
You're being detained.
I'm not
now.
doing
Turn
anything.
around.
Give me a
Stop.
Are your cameras on? Are your cameras on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, then
Put your
don't
hands
put me
behind
in.
your back.
No.
You're going in handcuffs.
Why?
Oh, Chille likes to complain about, I'm never going to let you you're going to handcuff me behind his back. He said it before, it's going to take a lot of you to do it. And then he's got this weird thing about people at the jail looking up his butt, and you're going to have to kill him to do it. I'm sure he probably spent time with his cellmate, like, hey, dude, you want to look up my butt? But Chille has this thing about being handcuffed behind his back. They're torture cuffs. They're going to hurt. Well, they're not pleasant, but they're not really torture, Chille.
Your hands behind your back.
Can you please slow
So let's listen to him squeal and cry like a little girl here.
down, get supervisor. I haven't done anything wrong.
Put your hands
I
behind your
haven't
back.
done anything wrong.
Don't make me
If you
attack
want to
you.
detain me, then detain
I am
me.
putting you in handcuffs.
But I'm not putting my hands behind my back.
Facing the hood.
I'm
Turn
facing
around.
the
Not
hood.
a policy to put it behind.
Don't
It has
put-
to be behind your back. Right now, you're going to get a ticket.
For what?
If you do not put your hands behind your back, you're going to jail. Put your hands behind your back. Do it now. No, I don't know if you have any weapons.
I'm a journalist. I'm a constitutional law scholar.
Listen. Put your hands behind your back. Turn around.
For officer.
Turn around for officer safety.
And the camera's still running, guys. The camera's still running.
I
I'm
don't
facing
care.
your car. Like
I don't
you asked me to
care.
do.
I don't
I'm facing
care
your
about the
car.
camera. Put your hand behind your back. Do not reach for this phone.
Thank you.
Put your hand behind your back.
Okay, there you go.
Just listen to him complain. I'm trying, Mom. Wah, wah. Which you listen to him every other time he yells at the cops, acting like a hard ass when they're finally putting it to him. Well, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. What alpha male shit? Chille, come on. Alpha male that, bro. Used to fight Ken Shamrock, you tell everybody. Come on now. Oh, by the way, he really does claim he like fought with Ken Shamrock and was in his fight camps and stuff.
There you go. Please don't put those tires. There's no reason I'm not going to resist the run. Get a supervisor here, please. Don't put those tires. Put them on loose. There's no reason. I'm not going to try to fight you. You grab me for no reason. I can't. My shoulder's got a tendon. I can't. You're going to hurt my shoulder. My left shoulder. Please don't hurt me. There's no
Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me.
reason to hurt me. Hey, you guys film this, please. Pull out your camera. There's no reason to do this to me. You're just exerting power. Please get your supervisor. You're going to face a lawsuit here.
Go ahead, sue me. That's fine.
There's no reason to put this on me tight. What did I do? You ended the stop, you dunce. You can't end the stop. It's Rodriguez versus United States, 2015. You can't.
No, I have a different stop now. My stop's now with you.
No, you
Separate
extend.
your feet as far as you can.
Go ahead.
Attack you with a weapon.
There's no weapons on me. Go ahead, put your front fingers on my butt, bro. That's what you want to do.
Separate your feet as far as you can.
This is as far as I can go, dude. There's nothing on me. I don't have any weapons.
Separate your feet further.
No.
Separate
You
them
can feel
further.
the camera's rolling, bro. I'm the camera on, officer. Please put the camera on me. Okay, I'm detained. So I'm not.
He's under arrest.
I'm under arrest. I'm going to.
And that's it. Sadly, Chille was released. He got charged with obstructing and resisting arrest. So I did want to say Outcast77 on Rumble for $5 says, "You're great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that." Yes, how lucky do you must feel that getting out of a ticket because this crazy guy showed up? Yes. Track post. You can't end a stop. The AC guy says, "What probable cause and what crime?" I think the officer is claiming that he was obstructing the stop by refusing to get away and allowing the officer to continue his job. Now, the officer is going to say, "I didn't want that guy near me because some random guy is like this close to me. I didn't feel comfortable turning my back to him and conducting stuff with the driver." Is that going to hold up in court? I don't know. Because there's going to be the issue of how far away was he really? Now, on the camera, it looks closer, but the cameras distort distance a little bit, especially cell phone cameras. So there might be an issue there. I don't know. But overall, the cop actually take a step back. That's not a bad idea. But for Chille, he has daddy issues and authority issues. So if the cop told him to take a step back, he'll intentionally ignore you and be defiant. And I'm sure if Chille was standing on the train tracks and the cop said, "Hey man, there's a train coming," Chille's going to say, "Fuck you, I'll do what I want," as he gets hit by a car. So, yes. So, Chris is saying, "Do you have a highlight reel of this weirdo?" Don't have a highlight reel, but I do have 2 videos of him. They're not necessarily highlight reels, but they explain who he is and what he does. Let me bring those up here. So may as well pimp my own channel while I'm here. If you see right here, it's these 2 bad boys. These guys right here. Chille Decastro and the Trifold of Stupidity, which is one of his legal documents. And then there's, meaning Chille Decastro, the professional pseudo attorney. And yeah, I just think it kind of covers Chille a little bit and you guys can understand what he's about. Try to give you like a crash course about him. So, Catherine Cases, I'm pretty sure he's wearing lip gloss. Yeah, he's got some issues with that. AD for $2 says, "Thank you, by the way." Says, "I watched a video. I'm a constitutional law scholar." Yes, and he admits that. Google and YouTube are his studying sources. Porcelain Thunder says, "What does the Magnet Carter have to say about a Chille?" Oh, I'm sure he's going to include that. I'm sure he'll include that. And yes, I'm aware he's on right now. Kyle Bogue for $5. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Says, "Oh, and by the way, Chille, good luck with your cases, man." Oh, there we go. Says, "Always a good idea to be respectful, not a total D-bag to cops. Never hurts." Now, I get the idea of being confrontational at times, but for Chille, every time is confrontational. And when the cops are nice to him, it pisses him off because then he doesn't get clicks and make a scene. So, camera's rolling, bro. Yes, Travis. Let's see here. When is the trial? Don't know, but he has a hearing tomorrow, and there's another channel called Our Nevada Judges. And if you guys are familiar with the Kim Blandino saga, who let's see here. How do we Our Nevada Judges. They are a group of people out in Nevada, and they cover their judges in the court cases. And here's who they are. If you guys want to watch them tomorrow, they will be covering Chille's case in person because this occurred out in Clark County, Nevada. Although really nobody else lives in Nevada except for like Reno, I think. I don't know. But they are covering it, and hopefully there'll be some lulls because he can't run away. And I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of asshole things with Chille. So let me. Also, some of you were asking, can Chille be your personal retard? You wouldn't want him to be your ADA compliant retard. Photo Viper says, I still say fuck that cop. Yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% on this that Chille was in the wrong here. Once he says it's time to get arrested, though, bro, you're getting arrested. But did he have the right to tell him to back off like he did? I don't know. And was that more a contempt of cop than anything? That's why I said I'm still not 100%. But watching Chille scream and cry like a little girl, I mean, that's not how alpha dogs act. I mean, alpha males and scholars would keep their mouths shut, take their pinch, and sue and win. But he's a bragger and a blowhard. So, Freedom Thinker says it's fun to watch lol cows create their own disasters. Very true. Very, very true. Metal Matt says, Sean, you are funny and a great person. Well, thank you. I try to be funny when I can. As far as a great person, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. Zero Fuck says 4:30 Nevada time, could always watch later. Wait, hold on. Alpha, you're saying it's like 4:30 p.m. in Nevada when this happens? That's gonna be like 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I think I can air it. We'll do it. PM me in Discord. We'll talk about that because it sounds like you know the time. Demon's Wrath says this guy sounds more cringe-inducing than Spectre. No, this guy's really bad. This guy's bad. Tadano Hito says Chille would be Monty's lawyer in a different timeline. Oh, I'm surprised these two have not linked up at some point. It's a shame they haven't. The Photo Viper says, I side with 1A auditors every time. I generally side with them. I give them the benefit of the doubt till they fuck it up. But I don't always just side with them. I don't always just side with the cops. I generally try to see what happens and then go from there. AD for $5. Thank you for the super chat. Says Chille should wear a fez hat to court and challenge jurisdiction, then file a lawsuit against all judges in this district as a Moorish national tactic. No, don't you worry. Chille's got his own thing where he got into a case he has out in Massachusetts right now currently, where he's demanded discovery from the judge, where the judge disclosed every pro-police organization she's ever been a part of. Don't you worry. Chille's got his own special level of retard to handle all that. Darcy says Chille is suing all the cops. Yes, he is. Sure fuck says, should I send him to the court? Head down to the court and send him your regards. This is no. Remember, the farms have great rules. You do not engage with the lol cows. You leave them alone. And they will you observe. So don't engage. Do not engage. As funny as that would be. Ninja Brand Man says, if he decided to sue the cop after getting dismissed, would you represent him? No, because he's a very vexatious litigator. No, I wouldn't represent him. He's got a lot of credibility concerns. No. And also, he doesn't pay. So, Demon's Wrath says, who wins in an arguing contest? Chille or Patrick Tomlinson? Chille. Chille would. Chille would win. Chille would win. So, all right, guys. Well, that is it for tonight. We're going to get over to locals. And actually, really quick, before we get too far on locals, there are some very good memes on here. We're going to just review real quick while we got a second. So, this one here, yes, Chille's ensemble very much looks like Chille. So, I think that is very much Chille right there. Yes, there's different types of escorts: the Ford escort, the lady kind of escort, and then police escorts. Yes, and that is Jacob Chanley, the shaman, getting escorted around by the police, not attacked or arrested. And then another good one here from The Simpsons. Yes, those are speed holes. They make the car go faster. Oh, yeah, speed holes. I'm sure that the Miami man has a lot of speed holes in his car. Oh. Yes, a stop sign can be a deadly weapon. It's a good weapon in wrestling. Yes, here's Patrick. I have $3. Oh. So that is it, guys. Thank you for everybody here tonight. I appreciate it, everyone. Oh, Harbor Waterworld says the rare male fupa. That's a shame. Says, oh, like how police can escort you to the ground. Yes, well, that too. So, oh, yes. Yes, you're right, Pike Case. ECW. Oh, I didn't know people would get that reference. That's old ECW, the good stuff. Back when they had like Sabu and all those guys in the freaking barbed wire matches. So, all right, guys, but that is it for everybody tonight. Thank you, everybody here. Thank you, everyone on Rumble, over on here on YouTube, everybody in Locals. Guys, if you want to join me, potentiallycriminal.locals.com. We're going to go over there and hang out for a little bit, at least for a little while, just shoot the shit and talk about things we can't talk about here. Also, happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy it. I know I've already started a little bit myself. And remember, also, thank you for everybody here. Liked, subscribed, commented, especially everybody here super chatted. Thank you so much. Over on Rumble, if you super chatted, thank you too. And remember, until next time, guys, just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. Good night, everybody.